And we'll get going. There we go. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today is March 16th. It is 7:31 p.m. I'm calling the meeting of the Executive Committee of the Libertarian Party of Florida to order. First item on the agenda, of course, as always, is roll calls. Lisa, our secretary, is out. She is an excused absence. She has a religious thing to take care of tonight. So in her place as secretary is Theodore. So whenever you're ready, sir.
Okay. Chair Johnson.
I am here.
Vice Chair Appler.
I'm here.
Theodore Zalesiak, Deputy Secretary, is here. Treasurer Sokol. Absent. At large, Director Mosgrip. Absent. At large 2 is absent, or is a
It's
vacancy.
currently vacant.
We have Director Cummings.
Present.
Region 1 representative is vacant. Representative Ferguson. Absent. Representative Vinson.
I'm here.
Representative Armstrong.
Here.
Representative Hamlin.
Present.
Representative Simpson. Absent. Representative Johnson.
She's
absent.
here. She's here.
I'm present.
Okay. Representative Cordova.
I'm here.
Representative Montgomery. Absent. Representative Leggett.
Here.
Representative Pinkoski. Absent. Representative Paff.
Here.
Representative Cosma.
Present.
Representative Bordeaux.
Here.
All right, let's give it a count. Present, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The deputy treasurer is
11,
also
12, 13. So that would be 14 with oh, you're right. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. So it'd be 14 with it would be 14 with Joe Hanush as deputy treasurer.
here. Thank you, sir. 7 is a majority.
Okay.
8 is a majority. Okay. All right. The first item on the agenda would be public comment. 10 minutes. Mr. Ruse, I know you have something, so the floor is yours first, and then anybody else, feel free to raise your hand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise to thank the Libertarian Party of Florida Executive Committee for their support for Cannabis at the Capitol, the annual lobbying days hosted by Florida Cannabis Action Network. It was a great event. It was well attended. The pressure was is on the legislature right now, who's in session, to come up with some type of legislation to definitely free the plant, as well as try to come up with something that's more fair, for lack of a better word, on their end regarding the treatment of the medical marijuana market, and then you have this unregulated hemp market. Obviously, trying to the whole concern is that it's very easy to sell very potent consumables in easy to reach retail places for average people and kids. I don't think they have any consensus today on it, but the Speaker of the House himself had to call for a work group to introduce what the entire topic is to a brand new generation of state legislators that never talked about this. But the big difference, in my opinion, is that they heard all the commotion from the citizen lobbyists that did attend with I'm talking about 2 weeks ago now, at the Kansas Capitol. Everyone felt like they were heard. What some of the interesting feedback from years past is, when I started going up to Tallahassee, a lot of people would admit that they were, they took like the sleeping pills to help them sleep, right? And now they're taking hemp products, right, from a high quality hemp products from some of the better providers in the state, and that's a monster change that they're even saying that publicly. And these are the people who are actually these are their actual regulators. So there's a lot of information out there, out there in that regards. And we're, of course, this is in the bigger scheme of things. I want to point out that all citizen lobbying for marijuana use in general has been on the defensive in the last couple of years since basically the medical market was approved by referendum in 2016. So what the focus is nowadays is on employment rights. That way, you're a medical patient, and that shouldn't be held against you for drug testing, or you should be able to hold your job, and things of that nature. Those are the more bigger items, of course. And then there's an entire untapped industrial hemp market out there, and consuming hemp itself as a food source and all the industrial uses for it. So there's a lot of catch up to do when all the focus has been on the medical market, and now because of the hemp market separately got deregulated from the federal government in 2018. Now everyone's taking a pause and looking at what the consequences are, but they're really looking at it now because the last year's referendum, constitutional referendum, did get well above 50%, 56%. Needed 60% to pass. So everyone, and the vast majority of 84, 86% of all legislative districts, a majority of voters in those legislative districts actually voted for Amendment 3. So they're very focused on that issue because that's where the votes are. I appreciate everybody, and this is my report for it. If you guys have any questions on this topic itself, thank you so much for the support. The Libertarian Party of Florida it was a sponsor, a gold sponsor for it, and they were included in all the literature, and members were invited and participated. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Ruse. We have a couple minutes left. Anybody else have anything public comment? Seeing none. Next item on the agenda would be the approval of the agenda, if there is a motion to do so.
Moved Appler.
Moved by Mr. Appler. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Jim Leggett.
Mr. Leggett seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We have an agenda. Next item on the agenda, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes. Is there such a motion?
I motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Montgomery. Moved by Mr. Montgomery. Is there a second?
I'll second. Deanna.
Seconded by Ms. Cosma. All those in favor of approving the previous meeting's minutes, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Thank you. The motion carries. Next item on the agenda. Yay. We get to hear all of the reports. Let's start with the LNC report. Mr. McGee is not here. I'm the alternate. Mr. Vincent, would you like to give the LNC report as at large, sir?
I don't have anything new and pressing as of right now. What about you?
No. The only thing I was going to say is that the next in-person meeting would be in May at the Grand Rapids Hotel, which is the convention location for 26. But that's really all I have.
Yeah. Are you gonna be?
Yeah, I've already booked my flight, and as soon as they release the room link, I'll get that squared away. All right, that takes care of the LNC meeting committee reports. Mr. Thompson, rules.
Yes, sir.
You got anything for the rules committee report
No,
that you care to share?
posted on the posted in the thing. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, sir. If your report is posted to bulletin board, please feel free to keep it as short as that. Next is affiliate support, Mr. Cordova.
Yeah. Big month. Everyone's getting reaffiliated. It's kind of just moving. I know there's been actually, I really am grateful. It's been kind of a communal effort. There's been a lot of people who've chipped in to make sure that their regions and their areas have support there without having to go all the way to me or to the committee. So I appreciate that. I know on a personal level, I have to I'm working with Pinellas to make sure they get all their stuff squared away right now. So if that goes well, there'll be another affiliated committee. If there's anybody in the next couple of weeks that still needs help, please make sure to reach out. You have until the 31st. That is the point of no return. So if your counties are still trying to work on reaffiliation or affiliation in the first place, just let us know.
Thank you, sir.
I think I'll have to put a secretary's note in regards to the point of no return. There is a 30-day extension possible.
Yeah, but I'm trying not to encourage that.
Audit committee, audit committee is currently vacant. So if anybody in the meeting or watching on the live stream or watching later on knows somebody who has an interest in chairing that committee, feel free to email chair@lpf.org. Next would be candidates committee, Mr. Hanush.
All right, candidates. It's all on the report there, but I do want to highlight a couple points. Ralph Groves, who's I believe on the call right now, said earlier in the general membership meeting about website help. So if anyone would like to help him out, please reach out to Ralph Groves. If you can't reach out to him, reach out to me, and I'll help you reach out to Ralph. Another one this is the last report before the election for Andrew Parrott. His election day is April 1st, so we're in crunch time right now. If you want to help him phone bank, text bank, if you're near the district, if you want to sign wave or like door knock, whatever you want to do, reach out to Andrew or reach out to me and I can help you reach out to Andrew. His website is andrewparrottforcongress.com if you want to just send a donation, if that's what you could do. Anything helps right now. If you know people in the area, so this is East Central Florida. So this is Northern Volusia, Daytona Beach, Palm Coast area. South of St. Augustine goes out to just east of Ocala. So if you're in that general area or know people that are, please reach out to them. This is a special election, so we're expecting low voter turnout. So every vote counts like times 5. So think of it like that. Early voting is March on Saturday. It'll be March 22nd or 23rd, and it goes until March 29th. So those are like select locations. So again, if you're in that district and you want to just sign wave or hand out a literature for the campaign in any of those areas, please do. Yeah, this is crunch time, and I think my time is probably up, so I'll leave it there. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hanush. That brings us to communications committee. That's myself. Mine's on bulletin board. We're really just working on affiliate websites. We've got the spring fundraiser coming up that we're sending email blasts for, convention coming up. That's where the bulk of our focus has been, is getting those things pushed out to the public as much as possible. And that's it. Convention, Miss Johnson.
My reports are also on bulletin board. I would just like to reiterate the need items for the auction to go throughout convention. We need sponsors. Anybody who knows anyone who wants to sponsor, we're open for it. Just please reach out to me or anyone on convention committee.
Thank you. Fundraising is technically vacant. as Mr. Nicholson has resigned and stepped down. Is there anybody on the fundraising committee in the meeting who would like to give an update?
Actually, no, because both Secretary Gansky and Representative or Director Mosker are both out. But I do attend their meetings just for accountability purposes. And I will say that the annual LPF Spring Fundraising Bash will be on Saturday, March 29th. It's in West Palm Beach, Royal Palm Beach. It's at a Big Rocco's Pizza, 5 p.m. There will be karaoke, an auction, some appetizers, and plenty of fun. There's more information available at lpf.org, and then you just go to news.
Thank you, sir. Also, I would like to point out that Mr. Pinkowski has joined us and is now present. Legislative action, Mr.
Thank you.
Vincent.
That's updated.
Yeah, I'm continuing my work with Decrim Nature Florida. I was looking to bring on Stacy Keene, I think is her last name. A while ago. I think she wanted to help with Defend the Guard. I'm a little spread too thin to spearhead Defend the Guard, but if anyone wants to help out with Defend the Guard, get with me and we can start meeting regularly, and I can let you guys know how Decrim Nature's going, and then we can get Defend the Guard rolling. I know who to contact, but I'm just spread way too thin at this point to start that project all by myself.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, sir. If anybody wants to help with that, please feel free to reach out to Mr. Vincent. I think it's definitely something that we should champion if we have someone who can help with that. Membership, Dr. Mejias.
Membership just completed a campaign to replace two people who left the Duval County Executive Committee. And we were successful in finding two other people to do it after making lots of phone calls and emails and text and leaving messages on phones. And we did get those two people. They're Christopher Zambelli and Nicholas Sarter. So the committee is now made up of myself as the chair, vice chair, Christopher Zambelli rather, Treasurer Joseph Sokol, and Secretary Nicola Sarter. And we had our first meeting already, and we are getting ready for the reaffiliation. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Mejias. The last committee would be Mr. Thompson with the Platform Committee. I don't imagine there will be anything, but just in case.
No, yeah, we haven't received any emails from anyone asking for changes or additions to the platform. So it's just me standing by waiting for that to happen. We'll stand up a committee if something comes in to address.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. That should help convention be a little more smooth. Next would be officer reports. Chairs first. That's me, obviously. The only real important things to report is that we just did the annual audit and I submitted it to the Division of Elections. I am very unhappy to report that fundraising was quite down year over year, and I would hope that we can take that in the opposite direction moving forward for 2025. As you all know, I planned on running to remain as chair at convention, and that's one of that and regrowing membership is one of the biggest goals that I have for 2025. Also, I completed our annual report with Sunbiz and the Secretary of State. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is in bulletin board. If anybody cares to read that. Vice Chair, Mr. Appler, you are up, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My report's on the bulletin board. And the only thing I would add beyond that is I also am planning to run for re-election as the vice chair at convention. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Ms. Skansky is out. Theodore, Secretary.
I have nothing additional to add beyond what Lisa would put on bulletin board.
Thank you, sir. Joe Sokol is out. Deputy Treasurer Hanush.
Yeah,
You
I
have
wasn't expecting to give anything, but as Theodore said to his main person, I'll say the same. The report's on a bulletin board. What I can report is Joe and I will be getting together for more formal training, I guess, on the treasurer thing. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That brings us, officers, to a close and brings us to region reps and directors at large. Mr. Mosgrip is absent. At large 2 is vacant. Mr. Cummings, you are up, sir. Anything other than what's in bulletin board to report?
I have nothing other than what's in the bulletin board, so thank you.
Sir. Thanks, sir. Region 1 is vacant. Mr. Ferguson is absent. Is his alternate here? I don't think so. Region 3, Mr. Vincent again. Anything to report other than what's in bulletin board?
No, but I will mention it since it's quick. I finally did make contact with one of the leaders of the Yao chapter at FSU, and we're setting up a call this week after they get back from spring break. So I'm kind of hoping to go the college route in Tallahassee and maybe get them to start an affiliate or see how we can be mutually beneficial to each other.
Nice, nice. Thank you, sir. Region 4, Miss Armstrong.
Like most others, I posted up in bulletin board. Yesterday I hosted a libertarian meetup. Nobody from the contact list came, but when I was there, somebody did join in. So let's hope that we'll have a new libertarian on board. And that's it.
Nice. Thank you, Miss Armstrong. Miss Hamlin, Region 5.
Yep, it's posted on the bulletin board, but Duval and St. John's have submitted everything for reaffiliation, and Clay is having their meeting on the 24th.
Nice, nice. Good to hear. Happy to hear that. Thank you, Miss Hamlin. Mr. Simpson, Region 6 is absent. Does he have an alternate? Is he there? I don't think so. We'll go on to Region. Oh, sorry. Say that again. Okay, Region 7, Miss Johnson.
I just want to say really proud of Volusia's affiliate and Mr. Johanush doing all the work for candidate Andrew Parrott that they've been doing. Unfortunately, nothing from Putnam or Flagler counties, but we're still working on it.
Thank you, Miss Johnson. Mr. Cordova, Region 8.
Yeah, so Hillsborough's got its ducks in a row. We're going to be filing our reaffiliation this week, as should Pinellas. As like I said, I'm just working through something with them. We do actually have some movement with Pasco and Polk. We have some contacts there now, so we're moving in the right direction with both of those. And then Hernando, we'll see what happens there. But that's there's 5 of us, or 5. And we're also working on putting together our first meeting. We had a spot that was then pulled from us. We were going to do a meeting for basically all of the region, and then our location was pulled. So we're getting to that, and that should be rescheduled soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Cordova. Mr. Montgomery, Region 9.
I'm really busy working on, I took on the role of HOA vice president, and I have not been able to focus on Libertarian Party activities. That's basically my report for this month. I will attempt to go to affiliate meetings next month.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, as someone on the code enforcement board, it can definitely be all that extra stuff can add up, and so I feel your pain. Mr. Leggett, Region 10.
Yeah, I filed my report. Also, I wanted to thank Ms. Gansky for I crafted an email to send to all the LPF members in DeSoto, Hardy, and Highlands County in an effort to try and recruit folks that we have in our database. So far, no responses, but I plan to send some follow-up emails every month. I do have a couple leads still in Manatee and Sarasota. It's just trying to push them over the finish line to get the paperwork in is the challenge. So I'm still working on that as well.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Mr. Pinkowski, Region 11. Anything to add?
I have my report up on the bulletin board. I'm hoping to be able to make it to the fundraiser event, so we'll see.
Awesome. Thanks, sir. I am hoping to be there as well, driving down from Volusia, so should be fun. Mr. Paff, Region 12.
Get off mute. Yeah, I have my report as well on the bulletin board. I believe that I know that we've submitted our paperwork for both Lee counties and Charlotte counties. If there is any problem with the paperwork or if anything is wrong, I hope somebody reaches out to me so that we can fix it.
I'm sure Ms. Gansky or Mr. Theodore Zalesiak. There we go.
Yes.
Got it. All right. I'm sure one of them will reach out if there's a problem. I haven't heard anything from either one of them on it, so I think you're probably good to go. Ms. Cosma, Region 13.
Yeah, my report's up in the bulletin board.
Bingo. You rock. Thank you. Ms. Boudreau, Region 14.
Good evening, everyone. My report is not up. I returned from my trip, but I returned very sick, so I'm really behind. But what I did want to share was that we are processing our reaffiliation paperwork. Hopefully, it should be done this week. And at this week's meeting, I learned that we have someone from the Libertarian Party of Miami-Dade is a council member for El Portal, which is a small, they call it a village, but Miami is divided up into a bunch of cities, and it's one of those. So I thought that was good news to share. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Boudreau, and I hope you feel better. That concludes region reports. That puts us on to item number 8, the chairman's consent agenda to appoint and remove committee members. To remove this month, we are removing Scott Nicholson as fundraising chair and director at large 2. He has resigned. So just a quick vote to accept the resignation. All those in favor of accepting the resignation, say aye.
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 Those opposed and evil enough to force him to stay on, say nay. Motion carries. That brings us to item number 9, unfinished or old business. There is none. Item number 10, election of director at large 2. I understand there is a nominee. Mr.
And then really quick on this, Chair Johnson, I had because the numbers might matter in a minute here, I had Eric Montgomery as not here, and then he was here for the report. So I have 16 and 3. So 16 are present, and that puts 9 for a majority.
Thanks, sir. Okay, thank you for that quick update. So we will move to give the floor to Mr. Appler, who I believe has a nomination for director at large 2.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I nominate Larry Gillis of Lee County. Mr. Gillis is also the Region 12 first alternate.
Okay. In which case, if he accepts and is elected, he would then step down from that.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Gillis, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much I'm honored by the title and by the work. Thanks.
Thanks, sir. All right, Mr. Gillis has accepted the nomination. Are there any other nominations for director at large 2 at this time? Seeing no hands and hearing none, is there a need to motion to close nominations? Or we will just go into a vote. Mr. Zalesiak, how do you want to handle the vote? Do you want to do a roll call, or do you want to just do a voice vote and see if there's any? I don't think there will be.
I think if one person says no, then we'll put him up against Noda.
I think Mr. Gillis has been in the party for quite some time. He's very active. I don't think we're going to have a problem here. So let's just, all those in favor of electing Mr. Gillis to director at large 2, say aye.
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 I will also vote aye.
Aye.
And anyone care to vote nay? Gabby Cordova voted nay, huh?
Nope, just in the background. All good.
I'm just giving you crap. Thank
Thanks,
you,
guys.
and congrats, Mr. Gillis. Welcome to the board.
All right, thanks again. Bye-bye.
I do not see a motion 853, although that's how I'm assuming that was left blank. Are we going? Is there a nomination for Region 1 rep? Sorry about that. I almost skipped that one.
It would be 850. It'd be 854 because 853 was last week's.
Gotcha. Okay.
Motion number.
But I didn't see any motions come in. Is there a nomination for a Region 1 rep while we're still here? Going once, twice, sold. Hearing none, there is no motion 854. Item number 11, the next executive committee meeting will be held April 20th, 2025 at 7:30 Eastern. Item number 12, any announcements anyone on the call cares to make?
Yeah, I might have one. Robbie the Fire Bernstein is coming down April 24th through the 27th here in the Panhandle, but he was asking about dates down around for South Florida, and he's not sure when. I don't think he knows how far away Pensacola is from South Florida either, but if anyone is willing to host them for a porch tour, get with me and we can schedule something. Or if anyone up near me is wanting to do a porch tour, get with me. We have them booked on the 26th in Fort Walton, and then I'm working on something in Pensacola or or west in New Orleans. But other than that, he mentioned doing Lisa's house again, so I told him that that'd be fine. Probably he'd have to check her, but you know, if anyone wants to host a porch tour, just let me know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benson. Any other announcements? Mr. Cordova, saw your hand, sir.
Not so much an announcement, more just wanted to give you, our chair, just a shout out. I heard it's a special day for you today.
Thank you, sir.
I told them.
I told him. Always the wives. They keep track of everything.
This is very true, but happy anniversary, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. 12 years seems like just yesterday. Thank you, sir. Any other announcements? I've got, I'll just plug the, one more time, the spring fundraising event, and then convention. These are, we can't operate and support our candidates without donations, and these are at least ways to give back to the donors, to give them something for their money instead of just donating. So if you can support one or both, and I will likely be at both. Well, I will definitely be at convention, likely be at the spring fundraising as well. So it's been brought up. Yeah, I'm going to give that to you first, if you can keep it quick, sir. I've been reached out to. I know we had this discussion as an EC several times regarding the taxpayer-funded primaries and the lawsuit that Mr. Polelli has been involved in, and I think it was moved at some point last year that we should file an amicus brief. And I'm going to give either Hector or Robert Vincent, I know they've both been speaking on it. They're real quick, the floor for this. I think at this point, given the situation, there is a route that we could possibly take to get involved as with an amicus brief, even if it directly states that regarding taxpayer funded primaries are wrong, and that's our position. So whichever one of you wants to take it, I'll give you 5 minutes.
That's all you, Hector.
Thanks, Rob. So the cases take a long time to come to fruition. This was 3 years ago when chair at the time, Stephen Michaela, pretty much assigned the task for me to just talk to this guy about what he wanted and look at his case and his arguments. And they were very good. And then something that we continue to look at under the previous chair Halapka. Ultimately, he ended up filing his. He got he won the lottery in legal sense. where he's gotten the most favorable appellate court panel. It's a 3-judge panel to hear his case. They came back with a decision after, 6 months. It takes a long time to vote these cases again. And they came back with a decision that basically said that they recognize that the people like him who are independent voters are constitutionally burdened by the closed primary system in Florida, because basically the primary elections that are only only a member of that political party gets to vote in under Florida law decides who gets elected in the general election. That happens too often in Florida. And so you have people like him and many others, including us, get disenfranchised because we don't have a voice in the process. But we're still paying for it and we're still dealing with the consequences of it. So they came back and said they couldn't grant a relief for him because their concern was the rights of the political parties to not have, of course, people who are not members of the political party to participate in those primaries, which is interesting because first that means they gave the guy standing. And I'm not trying to make this too long, but the point is that it was the most favorable denial that you could get. And what Michael Palelli is a retired law professor from the University of Illinois, Chicago. And he's been living down here for about, retired for maybe good 15 years. And so he came at this with a lot of credibility into this case. And what he's going to do is ask for the courts to reconsider. And this is another opportunity for the political parties of Florida to get involved and say, hey, we actually have a problem with this system, this political system too. It seems to disenfranchise everyone who's not the one party dominant party in the state. And if you should strike the laws and open it up at the very least, because there's a problem with it.
There you go.
And then our solution, of course, is Libertarian Party of Florida is one of two that could be suggested, which is make these go back to the process of just getting rid of taxpayer funded primaries altogether. Let the parties basically choose their nominees, and that way we avoid the problem as well. In order to grow, of having basically ringer candidates run in our for our offices or as our representative or nominees who are socially unacceptable, right? So if anybody remembers from 2016, there was a gentleman who really divided the party by running for U.S. Senate at the time. It caused a huge divide in the party. But generally speaking, if the board can, if we can nominate by convention or have some other alternative private solution to nominating our candidates, that would be better for us. Because that way we could be taken advantage of by people who can use these laws and force their way through on representing us. So that's what that is. To file something like what the chair has referred to, would probably be doing somewhere north of 20 days. And this is basically, like I said, a lottery where a very favorable 3-judge panel could hear these arguments and really start the cycle of putting a dent in these laws that are really used against us in the state of Florida. And ultimately, if this also saves a lot of time for anybody who would want to bring up a lawsuit by themselves, because it takes years to develop. So with that said, I appreciate the time. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy.
Thank you, Mr. Ruse. Yeah, I've been back and forth with Mr. Ruse and Mr. Vinson on this, and I think this, while the topic of whether we have opened or closed primaries among libertarians is one that is almost as heatedly debated as other topics, I think the ability to file an amicus brief here and basically state that there should be no taxpayer funded and they should be paid for internally by the parties, I think that might be a great option for us. It doesn't cost anything. It's a matter of writing the amicus and submitting it. So I think that's why I allowed that. Thank you, Mr. Ruse. Any further announcements? Going once, going twice. It is 8:10. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair. Oh, never mind.
Mr. Appler.
I saw Wendy Hamlin had her hand up, but she's put it down now.
Oh, Did you have an announcement?
Nope, that was definitely an accident.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Mr. Vinson was the first I heard, a second from Mr. Montgomery. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
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 And,
Aye.
and
Aye.
anyone willing to violate the nap and keep us here longer? Nay. All right. Thank you very much for such a quick and smooth meeting. You all are free to enjoy the rest of your evening. We are adjourned. I will stop the recording.
Deal.